What's up, guys? Happy Finance Friday. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. And haven't done one of these for a while, so we're going to try to maintain some consistency. I promise. I got some interesting content, cards, collectibles, crazy stories, collections, yada, yada, yada. All right, so today's video, I want to talk about kind of the current state of the marketplace and where it's heading, in my opinion. Now, a couple of things. We are in a weird time. During the Trump tariff situation, the stock market tanked quite a bit and then went up. You have some weird swings of multi-thousand points in some cases for the Dow. The Nasdaq's gone crazy. And then recently, Bitcoin went up to $103,000 again. The all-time high Bitcoin is $109,000. So I feel like it's heading to a trajectory where it might break an all-time high, but there might be some pullback. So why does that even matter, like with the magic scene? And I want to kind of explain my thoughts on the external markets and how it affects the current magic marketplace for especially older magic investing. So for a long time, during COVID time, the prices of the cards skyrocketed. We're talking like 2017 onward. Through COVID, up until 2021, and then 2022, 2023, prices started dropping. And now the prices have leveled, and I do see some more added increase of interest to add to your set collecting, decks, and gameplay. Now, keep that in mind. Some of you guys have asked me, well, is it a good time to invest? Is it a good time to sell? What's the plan here? I think that if you bought, I think I may have mentioned this, if you would have bought during the downtime about a year or so ago, you would be doing pretty well if you were to sell and wait in the next year or so. I would say you would realize more gains than you are if you bought today. With that said, I do believe that right now, as it stands, I still think there's a lot of bargains to be made. If you're looking to collect certain sets, certain collectible like misprints, etc., there's always an opportunity on those areas, and I have noticed prices leveling off and decreasing over the years, but now I see more interest. So it's kind of weird, like it's very cyclical, right? Like if the external markets are better, you see an uptick in swing throughout the interest in the older Magic vintage cards. Now, I also feel like during this time of year, like May to through the summertime, there's going to be a lot more interest in collecting and investing. I feel like if for some reason in the wintertime you see kind of a downturn. I feel like with the summer and the spring happening, it's going to be a bigger interest. Primarily, it's kind of been a historical thing where once the tournaments start happening, like you got MagicCon Las Vegas, you got a bunch of SGC cons, which is, you guys don't know, it's called Star City Games. They hold their own cons now or tournaments. So that gives more people the opportunity to play, sell their cards, buy cards, etc., meet artists. Excuse me. I don't think I've ever coughed on camera. All right, moving on. So yeah, so we have more like conventions going on. Also with Gen Con, I think that's in August or September this year. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's October. But regardless, there's more conventions. There's also Magic Con Atlanta in September. I'm thinking about attending, and that's also going on this year too. So with all that said, there's all this more gaming atmosphere, more camaraderie with friends, more interest in travel. I think that there's going to be more of an uptick for collecting. Another thing is I also believe that a lot of people have had cash on the sidelines. Yes, a lot of people. They have waited around and their cash is doing nothing or getting interest, in some way from the bank. But the interest of the bank now has actually deteriorated because the interest rates have gone up, thus are actually gone down, causing the savings rates to go down. So you can't just park your money and get that 5% anymore. These days, it's generally about 4%, 3% range, depending on what it is. So in that type of realm, it might be wise to start investing again. Thus, you see uptick in collecting collectibles. I also have noticed that the crypto, the issue with the crypto is that when it went down last was it's always a regulation thing. It's always like an external market thing. If the current president, the current president Trump, is having these tariff issues, battling with different countries and different subjects in that range, it actually what happens is it actually is, I think, almost a correlation trade effect with the crypto. It's almost as if like once there's the economy is more stabilized, I can see the crypto going higher past the all-time highs, and you may see growth in the magic sector because people have taken enough, made enough profits, will want to take profits and then do a little shopping and spending. I find also that the amount of people selling has gone less. I think the type of selling, it's just less this year. I feel like last year there's a lot more collections on a higher clip. This year, there's some here and there, the typical collections, but I don't see people saying, hey, I want to get out of Magic. I just want to completely, eliminate my collection. Some people actually are selling and then transferring into artwork, other misprints or oddities or nostalgic items, and then kind of diversifying into their personal life. So that's also a thing too. All right, so now I want to hear from you guys. Comment below. How are we going to progress for the rest of 2025? Comment before I say it. Well, let's think. 2025 for the rest of the year is going to look, I think, generally like this. The older Magic cards are going to see a little bit of uptick, about 5 to 10% by the end of the year. There's going to be the high-end premium collectible cards are still going to hold their value, and we see a little bit of growth. But I think by 2026 and definitely 2027, you're going to see profit opportunity where there could be a rising opportunity. I think by that time we'll know by the external markets what's happening in this current presidency with a tariff crap, whatever, right? Whatever is affecting our situation externally will be, normalized. And my hope is that people will then have the consumer confidence to buy and invest in the Magic collectibles. I also believe that there will be quite a bit of consolidation over the next course of time. The next long term, I think 10 years, 20 years, definitely by 20 years. 5 years will be a start where there's going to be a shift. I've said this before and I'll say it again. People are getting older. I'm getting older, 45. People are going to start, sharing with their estate, with their family, and and trying to kind of figure out where does the wealth and my collectibles go to. And this shift of collectibles is going to have an interesting play on the ultimate result of what happens to vintage Magic itself. Old school cards, artwork, etc. That's a whole nother subject, a whole nother day to go over every little area, but that topic is huge. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you are interested in certain collectibles of certain rarity and hard to find stuff, you should, if you find that collectible, it may be wise to buy it, keep it, and shift it to the next generation if you have that ability. But some of you will have to, probably look at selling the collectibles sooner, which actually draws the question, is there going to be a flood of this stuff? Is there going to be a crazy amount of just, Arabian Nights cards or Legends cards or Antiquities cards or Alpha cards in the future? Just tons of them. All auctioned and fire saled or whatever. I'm going to get into that topic next week. I want to dive in deep into different sectors of that because it's something that it's been on my mind, and then other people have asked, what's the future of all this stuff? Short answer, I think that the future for the older, higher end, good artwork, one-of-ones, certain altars and such, artist proofs, they're going to hold some, really good values, if not have growth. Especially, as I've mentioned, when the artist, passes away over time. I think many generations to come, it becomes really just super valuable because you can't get it anymore. You can't go a Magic Con and get it. I'll be gone, long gone, let's say one day, and all the collectibles will be passed to my, my family and such. And where's this all going to play? We're going to have to discuss more about how do you kind of go through all the mass quantity of collectibles. How do you have so many different, artist proofs or, I don't know, alpha cards, beta cards, decks, whatever, right? You have all these collectibles you've collected over the years, memorabilia and memories all over time. How do we actually protect those and, for our family? And how do you maximize this in time? We're going to go through that. Next week is all about that. And I want to hear your comments below, what you want to hear about that specific topic. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys listening. I'm glad you guys are doing well. I hope to see you guys soon. And hope you guys enjoy the next video this weekend. Take care.
So you like
visual?
Yeah.
To me, that's
We're gonna put on light here.
It's really nice.
Yeah. You know what?
This is underestimated in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's really visually just.
Well, being an engineer, I like this one because of the mana vault. It's just I don't know,
detail in
something
the mana
about it.
vault's amazing
I just
as
like
well.
that. Yeah, obviously some of these are kind of blah. I mean, I actually like this one a lot too because it's unused. It's the one they lost it. They're all really cool. That's special.
Hey, this one's the Blue Hurricane, right?
Yeah, Summer Magic.
Yeah, this one's the Summer Hurricane. Blue Hurricane.
Hey everyone, it's me, Daniel with VintageMagic.com. I want to share with you more about how we handle consignments. So to begin the consignment process, we actually need to start with the consultation service. In this consultation, I will determine what you're looking to do. And generally, consigners usually tell me, hey Dan, I'm looking to sell my items and maximize the value of their collection. After we determine through the consultation, I usually like to do an appraisal process. And an appraisal process in terms of a consignment is more fitted towards authenticity and valuation for current market values. From there, after a contract is crafted and signed, we will then receive the items from you. The reason why our consignment process is very thorough is we also identify cards that could be graded so then they can maximize higher dollar values. So the payment process is very simple. Once we have sold your items, you'll get an updated ledger and we will process payment for whatever form of payment you need. As a consigner, you're gonna experience our white glove service. What that means is I'm gonna personally handle your collectibles from beginning to end. And rest assured, the client that purchases your collectibles will also receive the same white glove service. It's a signature service that I really pride myself on in working closely with my clients.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.